And now we don't have a lot of time for the questions. I will open the floor for the questions about, we have no more than 5-6 minutes. So, yes.
I would like to have a question, Professor Nierbusch. I'm very much in line with your interpretation of Augustine and Augustine's Just War. I'm just curious, it's a kind of question of clarification as to where to move forward. Like, for me, it seems to be that we have like 3 options. The first is that we say that there is no such thing as just war theory, so we should just deal with like every war separately. That's one option. The second one is basically to get back to Augustine. So like we adopt everything from Augustine and say that it's valid what he said, not just in some kind of political terms, but theological terms. So we really need some kind of Augustinian reformulation. It's maybe not a coincidence that we have an Augustinian Pope now. And the third one is somehow a recollection of certain elements from previous just war theories as to make a new just war theory. What would you propose?
Okay, my proposal would be that, yes, of course, we should return to Augustine, but I think if we really understand Augustine, his main message is that every war is different. Okay, so that there is no such thing as an overarching abstract theory. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's get back to Augustine, but not as a system, not as a systematic thinking about just war, but let's get back to the Augustinian understanding of war as an element in this very complex conditio humana. And if you really understand this message, it means that, of course, you have to make a decision in different cases. There is no such thing as a scholastic, dogmatic system of just war. There is no such thing. It is always, so because the real message of Augustine to me is that we live in a sinful world. Wars are not waged by saints, but by sinful people. And that is why we don't have an ideal solution especially in a tragic case like war. In every situation, we have to make the decision whether now the thing to avoid justifies, because of course war is bad. So mind you, when we talk about just war doesn't mean that war is good. All just war theories say that war is bad. So when we must do something bad to avoid greater, or something which is even worse. So for me, that would be a real Augustinian kind of recollection of the just war theory.
Yeah, maybe 2 more questions, but short questions. Please.
Thank you. What an exciting panel. I just would like to have a word of reaction by Professor Geyer with regard to your neighbor, the talk on Joan d'Arc, and what do you think? What are your reactions? Yeah.
It's good. Works. Yeah. Yes, I mentioned that we realized two different atmosphere here. Because I wanted to speak not about theory, but about the movement, and it's a very contemporary movement, and sometimes I think to myself about the movement guy and not about the theoretical guy, and that's why that topic was for me interesting. Yeah, the saints. The saints can always show. The saints can always show for us something that. The life of every saint is interesting for a special point of view. So that was an absolutely different atmosphere between our lectures. But I have a lot of favorite saints, and for example, Jeanne d'Arc is a very interesting life. Jeanne d'Arc had a very interesting life. I don't know well the life of Charles IV, but I was a chaplain, for example, for 4 years in the Cathedral of Budapest, and we had there the relics of Charles IV. So I had personal relations to these saints. But this is not my topic. I wanted to look for always contemporary solutions, and I'm interested always to our everyday life, and not about the history. But this is not that. That doesn't mean that the history is not important for me, and the life of these saints are not only history, but it is an example for our everyday life now. But I love the contemporary solutions. This is my answer. I like the contemporary solutions. This is my habit. Yeah.
So, last question. Is there a last question?
Thank you. I would like to address my question to Professor Nyírkos. You have overviewed very detailedly the development and the reinterpretation of the Augustinian theory of just war. I would like to ask, what happens with the just war theory in the scholarship of Hugo Grotius? So is it being forgotten? Is it being reinterpreted? Is there any relationship at all between just war and the theory of Grotius? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. It's a very good question. Yes, there is certainly a connection. So Grotius wrote in the 17th century, when all those just war theorists of the late scholasticism, Vittoria, Mariana, Molina, the Jesuits, the Dominicans, De Soto, and others, were still very much alive. So yes, I would say that Grotius is perhaps the last medieval just war theorist and the first early modern theorist, because he is not simply repeating them, but also adds, for example, the criterion of proportionality is added by Hugo Grotius to the traditional criteria, which is still used today. So he is perhaps the last one who actually develops the theory, adds new criteria, and also because he is talking about de jure belli and pacis, so and doing this from a legalistic point of view, so not simply from a moral, but more from the perspective of international law. And that's in some sense, it is also the end of just war theory for a long time, because this is kind of like a summary and the renewal of the theory, but also the closing. Because after Grotius, 17th and especially 18th and 19th century authors do not add much to it. But yes, he relies heavily, mostly on later scholastic just war theory.
Thank you very much. So we are finished with the panel. I think we have a break now, right? So we can have some coffee, always at the same place, one level above. Thank you very much.